before, after, before, after. Oh man, if only it was always so easy to mount them. Got them all loaded up, ready to go in the morning. I'll be dropping the truck off at Bryan Auto Plaza. If you're in or around Northwest Ohio and need auto work done, I highly recommend Bryan Auto Plaza. It's hard for a mechanic shop to impress me, and they do every time.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Sparrow's Nest Farm. It is ridiculously early. The sun is just starting to come up. I know you probably can't tell. It looks bright out there, but it's actually not. It's very early in the morning. We are dropping the Gladiator off with our favorite guys at Bryan Auto Plaza. We've been using them for quite a few years now, and we just love these guys. They're great. So I know they're going to take good care of the truck while they're putting the new shoes on. Whit's a little nervous because he used to do tires for a living, and he's a little particular. So hopefully they do it up to his standard. So there she is, sitting there ready to go. She got the tires in the back, and Whit's over there getting her signed in. We will come back and pick her up this afternoon, and she will be all ready to go, and then we'll have some tires for sale. We'll see you all later.
I gotta go to work, but then I step outside and see these things sitting here, and now I'm distracted. Tomorrow. We have an appointment for you tomorrow. So there they are. The Jeep definitely looks a whole lot different now, and these big old meats should grab quite a bit better off-road. They gained us about an inch of clearance underneath, and I followed Jen home, and as I pulled up to the stoplight behind her, I couldn't help but look at those big old knobs sitting under this Jeep. Man, it looks good. Okay. So we are out for our first test drive. Well, technically it's the second test drive. It's my first test drive. I rode along with her. But Jen came and picked me up from work so that she could get the first glimpse of the new tires. And what we ended up getting were the Cooper Evolution MTs. We got an insane deal on them. And apparently they just picked up a rock and threw it at that new aluminum side step. So I'm glad the step was there. So these MTs, they feel pretty good, and Jen rode me around for a little bit before we had to do something quick, and wanted to show me that they feel, actually they are a little squishier. They soak up some more of the road bumps, I guess, which is funny because the shop actually aired them up to 52 psi. So that should be a pretty stiff ride, but they feel nice and smooth. I am going to have to do probably a chalk test to get the correct PSI for the weight of the vehicle. But they handle great. They feel great. I would say for my initial impression, I am impressed. What do you think, Jen?
Well, I guess my impression is impressed too. I like them. They didn't add very much height, which the reason that we put the steps on right away is because I was worried about adding any more height and I wouldn't be able to get in very well because I've got very short legs. But it didn't really raise it up too much. So I'm pretty confident we're going to get the Rubicon, what's it called?
The takeoff springs and shocks off of a Rubicon. So people are buying these Gladiator Rubicons and the sports as well, and immediately taken off all the suspension and putting on lift kits, and then they've got brand new suspension that they've taken off, and it's basically factory new with maybe 500 miles, maybe 1,000 miles. I found one that's got 10,000 miles on it, which isn't bad, but you can pick them up super cheap because people basically just have them left over.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and that's going to raise it up a little bit. We may go ahead and do a lift at some point. That's not right now because we've got enough things that we need to do, but down the line I have agreed to a lift and even possibly bigger tires. So anyone who knows me is probably a little shocked to hear that, but yes, I did agree to it. I do think it'll work out, and it'll actually make the overlanding and riding out into the middle of nowhere a little bit easier.
A little more clearance is good, especially with the tail shelf that hangs off behind the tires here. Coming down off of something, that's a big hazard. It's something that we can damage that we don't want to. So maybe bigger tires and lifter in the future. As of right now, we've already lifted a little bit. Like she said, we're looking at the Rubicon takeoffs, which would give us a little more clearance, probably about 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch in the front. And other than that, these things I think will help us out. So what we're doing here with the dual videos, if this works out, this is actually a test run for not this coming weekend, but next weekend. Next weekend, you want to tell them what we're doing?
I think we've already told them, but I'll tell them again.
For this video.
We have a Jeep ministry, Tri-State Christian Jeepers, and for the past several months we've been planning a camping trip with the group. I don't know how many are actually going to be able to make it at this point because of all the stuff going on, but hopefully we'll still get a few, and we're going to head up north to St. Helen,
Michigan.
and we're going to camp up there, and some locals are going to take us on some trails that are up there, and we've been on some trails before in that area, so
yeah. So next weekend, hopefully we will have some trail video, some kind of overlandish video for you guys, maybe a little bit of fellowship video if people are up for it. I don't know. We'll see what the group, how they feel about stuff, and we don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, so that will all depend. But as for that, that's kind of what we're hoping with this dual video setup we got going here. It's simple, but hopefully it works.
yeah, we're not typically just going to ride roads and show you guys what we're riding on.
Like Williams County, Defiance County, Northwest Ohio roads, they're so great, aren't they?
Nothing super fascinating to see here.
Everything is square. I may have a quick clip still. I might have deleted it, but I may have a quick clip still from the other day, and if I do, you'll get to see the most interesting road in Williams County. And there you have it, the most interesting road in Williams County. I mean, it doesn't feel like we're on mud tires.
No, these don't feel much different than the tires that were already on it. And they're much more aggressive.
Much more aggressive. And they are a little bigger. They're a stock size, but not our stock size.
So, I'm just going to say, if you all don't have a relationship with a mechanic that you trust, do that. We have developed a relationship with a local mechanic here. We take all of our vehicles there. They have been really amazing to us. If you're in Williams County, which I don't know that anyone that watches us is, Bryan Auto Plaza in Bryan, Ohio is a great place to take your vehicles. They're wonderful people. They do really good work, and they have never failed to do what we needed, what we asked. And the price is always really good.
Oh, yeah. I actually, when we picked this up, I picked up the back shocks for my TJ too. I cut out the bar pins. I've talked in a previous video about getting those bar pin eliminators. I cut them out, pressed them out, and tried to press in the new bushings for, well, they're like little, I guess, sockets for the bushings that the bolt will slide through. And I tried to press them in. I could not get it. I gave up. And I called my buddy at the plaza there and asked him if they had something that could do it, and he said he'd give it a try, and they did. A couple guys there put some time into it, and we picked those up while we were picking up the Gladiator because they said they were done. And I gotta be honest, I had called around to tire shops first, which I don't know why I did, because I love the plaza and I don't trust a lot of people with my vehicles. You know, you see I do a lot of it myself. I called around to tire shops thinking it was a tire job, and everyone gave me prices that were just crazy compared to what Bryan Auto Plaza charged us. And I trust the guys at Auto Plaza. They do amazing work. Well, then I go to pay, and my buddy brings out the shocks out to me. And I asked, hey, did she get these on the bill? And he said, oh, there's no charge for that. And I know they put time into this. I know they probably had a couple hours in fighting this, probably. I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe two, maybe three. I don't know. I had a couple hours in it, and I had no success.
Take A when we get there.
Okay.
To the left.
Okay. Okay.
You were still talking, and we're almost home. Figured that would give you a chance to finish what you were saying.
I don't even remember what I was saying now.
Well, I wasn't trying to distract you. I don't know why you questioned me. Just do what you're told.
You ever hear that before, man?
Husbands, your lives would be so much easier if you just do what your wife tells you to do. Just saying.
So I do kind of remember what I was saying, though, even though she distracted me. So he brings them out, and I ask, you know, what, did she get this on the bill? He said, oh, there's no charge. And they did wander by again one more time, and he said, but I might sometime hit you up for a couple CDs of that Christian metal screamo stuff you listen to. I'm really into that stuff, and I'd be interested in getting some of that from you. So I've got to work on getting my buddy some good, heavy, screaming Christian metal. If you're into that stuff, I can probably put some links to some of my favorites in the description, so you'll find that down there.
I love that he called it screamo.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Where am I going? Where did you want me to go?
I told you to go down A.
I was... okay. Is there something you wanted to see on A?
It gets prettier over by Edgerton. I just thought there might be a pretty road.
Oh, okay. So she wanted to go see the second most interesting road in Williams County. I'm going to get turned around and go find it. So you'll see ahead, there's a curve.
You're annoying.
I don't know.
We're not to the pretty part yet.
I'm at home in mountains, and all these square country blocks with nothing but corn, they kind of wear on me.
Definitely ready.
Getting out in the mountains with sweeping, curving roads and hills, ups and downs and left and right, that is driving.
Stay tuned. We're going back soon. And we're going to take you guys with us.
I don't know what soon is, but I hope sooner than later.
Next year.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think we'll have any time before next year.
No, it's not happening this year.
You're ridiculous. There's a campground over to our left. When we first came to Ohio, we were living in a Class A motorhome in that campground, and we lived there for about
5 months.
5 months or so before we bought our first house.
Yeah, because when we moved to Ohio, we'd been living on the road, contracting, and living out of the motorhome. It was neat for a while.
And then we ended up in Iowa, and it wasn't fun anymore. We spent about a year in Iowa, and I don't think I want to go back to Iowa.
I'm sorry, Iowegians, but
Iowegians.
there's nothing to see in Iowa. I mean, we worked in Nebraska, and there's not much to see in Nebraska, but Nebraska was interesting. We could go out and do stuff on the weekends, and we did Kansas, and there was stuff to see and do in Kansas. And
We liked Kansas.
Kansas was cool. Actually, we found just a little side shoot on accident one day that said Scenic Drive, and we did it, and it took us to like a little mini Badlands area.
It was really cool. We may still have some pictures of that, and we can throw them up somewhere in here.
You'll have to find them.
Yeah.
So this has been fun. These things ride amazing.
I know. It's so comfy. I really expected with those nubs that it was going to feel a lot more rough.
I was afraid that we just sacrificed your ride for...
Not at all.
Well, we don't have lockers. But we got some meats on here. I think she'll do us pretty well, as long as we don't try and bury her in mud. And honestly, I'm going to try and avoid the mud next weekend.
I'm not a mudder. I like going off-road, but not so much the mud part.
Mud can be fun, just not afterward.
Excuse me.
Mud's all great and dandy up until it's time to clean it.
Yeah, I don't even find mud all that fun. I preferred the rock crawling.
Rocks are fun.
Moab's fun. And scary.
Oh, another story. So when Jen took us for that first ride after we got these tires on, she decided as we pulled back to home to try and take the hill rather than our driveway. I've done it a few times just because I'm craving Jeep action. I think that's Jen's first time ever driving it.
Yes, it is my first time ever driving it. Now, I have driven in our yard because sometimes you have to do that, but I have never driven down that hill.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty steep. Like, I won't mow on it. It's kind of hard to stand on.
But I've got a Jeep.
Took you like nothing. And you did good.
You can probably see the Dodge up on our hill.
Yeah, so this truck's still for sale. I think it'll be gone soon, hopefully. And now we've got tires for sale as well. So that's the hill.
That was a little fast.
That's a Jeep. So that was our test drive. That's the new upgrade. Possibly the last one for a little while. We'll see. Maybe Rubicon suspension and front bumper with winch at some point. But other than that...
Well, we still have to do a naming video. We have to order that.
The name, yes. So if we haven't already mentioned it, Jen already has a name picked out. She just hasn't been christened with it yet. Soon. There's meaning. There's name. There's designs. So, 'cause Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of these tires. They're the Cooper Evolution MT in a 285/70/17 load range E.
Any of you that have these tires, give us your opinion. Since this is still the first day, curious what people who've been driving on them for a while think, especially if you're in a Jeep and have these tires, just because that's what we've got.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like buttons, comment below. Let us know what you guys think, what you guys want to see, stuff like that. The Lord bless you and keep you.
Bye, guys. And we are dropping the Gladiator off at our favorite auto, what's the word?